Okay, welcome back. Today what we're going to be doing is throwing some spot colors into InDesign. And we're going to be making the spot colors in Adobe Photoshop. Real easy. Basically, spot colors are just an extra special ink used in the traditional printing process. They're also a nice way to economically produce really nice looking stuff without going through the expense to print full color. So you can actually make a really nice two-color image really pop off the page. And I'll give an example right now. This is the example layout that I did for the class, just for assignment 2. So you got your front cover here. This is just a fake out snowboarding publication showcasing some product info. There's the middle pages here. It's all fake type in here, but you get the gist of the layout. And then of course you got the last page here. Please forgive the pictures of the snowboarders. They are rather dated. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to change this image right here, and I'm going to give this. I'm going to give it it's going to be 2 colors exactly. Right now it's broken down into CMYK. I'm going to hit F8 and bring up my little information window here, and you'll see the. Going to zoom in here a second, and you'll see what happens is if I hit F8, this gives me the information of any image or object I want. Right now it's a Photoshop image. The actual pixels per inch is 300. Because it is scaled up so high, it's actually almost twice scaled, twice original size. The effective PPI is 187. So what happens is that when you enlarge something, you sacrifice resolution. And if you enlarge the resolution, you sacrifice size. So it's like an inverse relationship. The color space is CMYK. That's very important. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and K for black. And that's what we want to do. So we're going to take this guy. I'm going to zoom out here. There we go. Again, hit F8 to get rid of that. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to open up Photoshop. And it's going to open this thing up. There's my Photoshop image. I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff. Now, what I'm about to show you is the old-fashioned way to make duotones, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the best way. You can use other ways, but I have seen problems in the printing process, so we're going to do it this way. So this is my CMYK image. First thing I want to do is I'm actually going to sample some colors, and this is another cool trick. Is that by sampling colors through the image, you can bring these colors into the actual Photoshop or into the InDesign document, and use these colors to repeat through your design. So it reinforces the color harmonies, makes everything consistent, and really gives a real dynamic depth to your designs. So all I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick a couple colors here. I'm going to get this light blue right here. I'm going to double click on it, and it shows up right over here in my foreground color. I'm going to double click on that. And you see right here it says add to swatches. Well, I'm going to throw this swatch in, and I'm going to call this sky blue, just so I know what's going on. And then I'm going to go okay. So now I got another one. I'm going to maybe get this dark color of this jacket in through here. I'm going to go add to swatches, and I'm going to call this, let's just say jacket blue. And I'm naming these just so I can keep track of what's going on. And this is pretty a really kind of monotone image. There's lots of blue in here. So then I'm going to go to my I'm going to go OK and just snag it right to. So now in my guys here, I've got, I'm just going to go over here, I've got my sky blue and my other colors right in here, my color swatches. So what I'm going to do now is, and this is a weird thing, with duotone images I have to trash the grayscale. I have to trash the color image and make it a grayscale. And you notice right in here this is the duotone. It's grayed out. It won't be for long. If I trash the turn and get rid of the color information, go OK, it does this. Now you may want to actually bring up your levels, Command L, and you can do this in a number of different ways, and you can tweak your black and white image and bring up the contrast and values before you go into the next step. It's totally up to you. You can do this, kind of use the histogram here to mess with the images and make sure you've got your blacks are black and your whites are white. Remember the mid-tone slider. That really adjusts, that's got the guts of the image information, so if I blow it out, or if I max it too much, it just gets too dark and muddy. So be careful what you do. Usually subtle adjustments work the best. and gonna go OK. So that's kind of done. So now when we're done is after this is turned to black and white, I'm gonna go back up to image mode, and notice that duotone is turned on now. I'm gonna click duotone, and this is it brings up the last presets that we used. So this was actually a demo I did in class. So for example, right now it's a duotone. We've got 4 inks to be used that can be used. I can go in here and I can click on monotone, and it's going to just give me 1 color. I can do duotone, which is 2 colors, tritone 3 colors, quadtone is 4 colors. Usually you only see 1 and 2 colors. 3 colors and 4 colors. If you start getting into 4 special colors, you might as well go to traditional 4-color CMYK printing, just because to keep the costs down. Anyway, we're going to go to duotone, for example. So I'm going to double click on this guy. I've got sky blue in here, but it's not the blue I want. So I'm going to go over here to my color picker. Notice I just zoom over here and I click on this color right here. And it goes pretty gray, doesn't it? I'm going to go OK. This guy here, for example, I can go to my color libraries. Right now it's on picker, right? So if I click on color libraries, it's going to go to, these are all the color libraries that you have to choose from. Color libraries are organized books of color that are standardized worldwide. Pantone is the biggest one, well, really North American and somewhat European. And then you got some ones up here, which honestly I don't know what they stand for. I know Toyo is more Asian, and True Match I believe is European, and I do not know what these guys are. Just letting you know. My ignorance. Anyway, so I'm going to pick Pantone Solid Coated as my library. The difference is that between coated and matte and uncoated is actually the paper. Coated would be super shiny, matte's kind of like just in between, and uncoated would be like your traditional newsprint kind of stuff. And so different settings really make all the difference, because the different types of paper absorb ink at different rates. Uncoated sucks ink up like a sponge. So this one here has a lower ink density when it actually goes to print, whereas coated itself, the ink sits on top. So actually, I'm sorry, the uncoated has a higher ink density when it lays down, because it has to compensate for all the absorption that the paper fibers suck up. Imagine you're printing on some paper towel. It's kind of what it's like sometimes. Coated, the ink sits on top more because of higher